Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. This is Starters Order 7, RUS Flat 7. A little bit of trouble in the last video with Blaze not really doing what I think she could do and not quite getting where we wanted to go. And Title Force little stumbles. Doesn't quite look right, but, we've got a few going really, really well. And we will be opening up with the Arc de Triomphe, which is, say, one of my favorite races. It's definitely my top 5. Um, I don't know where I'd put it right now. Generally, it's been number 3. Kentucky Derby Grand National Arc de Triomphe. Um, it's kind of my top 3 in order traditionally, but I'm really enjoying a lot of other kind of races as well, and sort of appreciating more races over time, and especially through the game, discovering new races that I can look at in real life then and kind of dive into a little bit more. So I think that's always kind of cool, but definitely top 5, probably still my top 3. We do get to run it with a horse that is in really good form, and yeah, it's kind of come alive as a 4-year-old. Very unlucky as a 3-year-old, as we know. 3 different Triple Crowns that maybe she should have got. We didn't open up well with the Barfoot and Thompson Auckland Cup. But since then, the Saudi Turf, the Shima Classic, the Tennis Show at 2 miles, the Tancred, the King George QE, the Yorkshire Oaks, and then the Coronation Cup. Most of those at a mile 4. Got a mile 7 and 2 mile switched in. But yeah, definitely come alive. Has really, really ran well. 8 Grade 1 wins as a 3-year-old, or at the end of a 3-year-old season, where 1 win away from matching that, doubling that total within a 4-year-old season. And yeah, if you look up in the top right, we're close to breaking the 10 million barrier on the season as well. 7 wins, 8 runs. Very, very close. Doesn't even need another win to get over that 10 mark. And then that will also bring us in range for the 20 million for the career. So yeah, I think the promise Princess has shown throughout the 2-year-old season, the 3-year-old season. It's definitely starting to pay off now. We are seeing that as well. We're seeing a lot of horses come and shine at 4 when maybe they weren't ready at 3, or maybe they just weren't the right races at 3. We're definitely seeing them come alive at 4, and so I'm really glad that this new schedule we put together has kind of helped with that and highlighted those 4-year-old races. So Arc de Triomphe, Canadian International, the Breeders' Cup Turf, then the big race at the end of the season, the Japan Cup, before the Hong Kong Vase to kind of just finish things off nicely. Can probably go into the barn and quickly breed after that last race as well, but almost unbeaten, not quite. Similar, really, with Demolition Damager, a little more up and down. A couple of 4th places here in their last 8, and then we got the 2nd and the 3rd very early on. So yeah, little hits and misses here and there, but I feel like we're in a little bit of a rhythm with Damager. We've got the Champion Stakes coming up, the 1 mile 2 tennis show, the Breeders' Cup Classic, which is one of the biggest races in the Breeders' Cup, and then the Hong Kong Cup again in December. We finish off those. So 2 not perfect, but really, really good horses. And again, big money horses, good ratings, good wins. Title Force, not as impressive, but got the Group 1 wins. Ran better as a 3-year-old, really, but has some nice results here as well. We got the QE2, the Dirt Mile at the Breeders' Cup, the Cranji Mile, and the Hong Kong Mile. So, again, we finish all our 4-year-olds basically in Sha Tin at 8 of December. I think that's kind of cool. But, yeah, I think better as a 3-year-old than a 4-year-old, whereas Demolition Damager and Promise Princess better as a 4-year-old than a 3-year-old. Consuela, we got the Challenge Cup and then the Distaff, and then we'll book out the rest of November, December after this race, basically. But we're back to back at Keeneland. Not really somewhere we've raced a ton, but we did get the juvenile sprint. We almost won as a 2-year-old there, so who knows? Maybe that's something that we can rectify and get a win or a 2 here. But yeah, a nice horse, not a great horse, but we were able to run in Triple Crown races, and we did win a leg of the Triple Crown in South Africa, so fairly happy with their season all in all. And then Life Quest is unbeaten, 7 of 7, 4 Group 1 wins, 2 Group 2s, and just 7 of 7 races. Like I say, 300 grand almost on the table. Has gone to Australia at 6, we've gone up to 7, we've gone to Curra, we've gone to Newmarket, so, you know, UK, Ireland, Australia, and domestically, we have won a Grade 1 at all 4. It's been fairly well run, fairly comfortable. And it does feel that we can move to 7. You know, 6 and 7 I think is fine. Breeding indicator says 8. So, you know, there's a solid chance that we get at least opening legs of Triple Crowns. There's a couple of second legs next season that might be at a mile 1. We can run stuff like the Preakness. And in South Africa as well, I think the Classic, I think, is the second leg at a mile 1. I could be wrong. But a lot of the first legs are a mile, so we can dabble in some of the Triple Crown runs next year with Life Quest. So, yeah, pretty solid all round. And we're going to jump in, like I say, with the Arc de Triomphe to open up things. But for luck, please do like, comment, subscribe. Helps out the channel immensely if you know how YouTube works. Do not underestimate what an impact you can have on the channel. So I do appreciate all the support as always. We're into this one then. Longchamp, Paris Français, the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Now it's here. We are not the highest rated horse in the field because Webo Guidance is an absolute beast. This is a horse that, yeah, we've kind of seen run now and again. And to be fair, we saw it a lot as a 3-year-old. We weren't that worried about it. Yeah, it kind of snuck up on us a little bit. I think towards the end of the season, like you see, Ramscoop, we got beaten towards the end of the year. And it really started moving. It's in line for a 140 rating. It's only won 6 Group 1 wins. That's kind of small. And it did lose this race last year to Ramscoop. So, definitely the horse to worry about in the field. The other form horse, the other rating horse, the other real quality. The domestics, I don't know too much about. Maxinadis is a solid horse. I'm not really expecting too much from them. There might be something from the field, but we're winning this or Webo's winning this. I can't see anything about that. Tipsters as well. Yeah, just we're split on the two. And in the paddock, they're very calm. That might affect them, fit and ready to go. We're coping well, lean and ready to go. So not perfect from either, but good for both. Beid Regal, agitated and warm. Rotation Show, parading well, very fit, primed to go. That looks like maybe a horse that could do something. It's won its only race it's been in. Maxinadis is coping well and fit. So, yeah, we're not trailing. We're challenged earlier. We're definitely a mile 6, I'd say. Around that marker. So, coming down to a mile 4. Webo's going to be on distance. They are a little cool. We're going to see kind of how it all plays out, but the opening race of the video is kind of the feature race for the video, as I say. One of my favorite races, a mile 4 run at Longchamp, Paris, France, for the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, the Class 1 Grade 1 race for 3-year-olds and older upon the Parisian turf. Massive race, massive Massive stakes. If Webber wins, there's a chance they go to 140. Princess doesn't really have that, but there's a lot of pride on it, and we are defending after winning it last year from Webber. So we're going to start in the chute. You can see in the distance there, in the background, the Eiffel Tower, and we do come out okay, go towards the front. Webber, though, does want to take over, and we're just going to settle in with the stalkers here and back into the field. Switch the camera now, adjust our distances, and the field is together. We're a little up and down. We seem to be surging forward and coming back. Webber just holding that lead. 6 furlongs to go. Coming round this turn then, and we are 1 and 2, leaving some of the rest of the field back. Flotation Show is right there. Beatrigo Maxiniguez, Nedis, even Aaron Heartbeat, Mention McDonald, Shipper Wayak, all at the back there. Final 2 furlongs, we're briefly heading out. Webber guidance. We are neck and neck then, coming into the final 1.5 furlongs. Who wants it? Who's driving? It is a match race between the two. Webber is coming away with it right now. Does Promise Princess have a kick in the final furlong? Webber is going to get out of this one. Gonna get up. Promise Princess, not far behind though. A horse that could easily be 140 rated. Could not shake Promise Princess. They're at home and they're on distance. We're a long way from home and we're off distance, and we were right there nipping at their heels. Great run, not a win, not the result we wanted, but Webber is a phenomenal horse who just won their home race in a big fashion. Does hit 140. That's how good Webber was. But like I say, we were right there with them, just over a length back. Don't mind that at all. We also jumped to a 135, and we do break that barrier of the 10 million on the season. In fact, 11 million on the season, and almost 21 million career for Promise Princess. What a fantastic horse that is. Webber, we know, is a fantastic horse, and we would be breeding from them if they go to the barn. Hopefully they don't just retire. We've seen some big horses just retire. We'd hate to see that. I kind of want to breed from Webber Guidance and see exactly what they've got. And if somehow they went to an auction, I'd be very happy to pay top dollar for them. But yeah, good race. Not quite our day, but yeah, very good run. I think I can be pleased with what we saw. Pleased that, yeah. Even just challenging earlier, still beginning to pick up towards the end. But, yeah. We're so close. We're so good of a horse. I think that's the fun thing. And it all depends, how many of these is Webber going to run? Because that's the kind of quality that's needed to beat us at that distance. So, yeah, a little bit of think on for me, but not a lot of time to think because we are coming up quite quickly for Blaze, and the 14th is the next auction. So I knew it was in between the races. I don't know exactly where. It's in the midpoint pretty much on the 14th. But Blaze, a run at Keeneland, not a great season, but I think solid. Expectations weren't high. And yeah, we should be pretty much on distance. We've run okay at a mile. Getting up to a mile 1. I feel maybe it's time to kind of break out and do something here. For the Grade 1 winners, a couple of good form horses, including the Grade 3 Ultra Red Boot, who we know runs quite well, just has been very unlucky, to be fair. The amount of second place they've come in recently. They should have a lot more grades and a couple of Grade 1s, perhaps. Yeah, I don't think I discount the field apart from maybe Sabina, Estelle, maybe Schema. They're, for some reason, badly not fancied. Um, Look at the tipsters. It's Consignia, who is the favorite and should be the favorite as well. We're parading well, very fit, primed to go. I love that. Moonlight Emma, a little lazy. And your favorite is looking well and fit. So, chance there. I think it's all about, are we a better runner at a mile 1 than we were at a mile? We're about to find out then. Bluegrass country, here we come for the 1 mile 1 furlong Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup. Class 1 Grade 1 for 3-year-olds on the turf here at Keeneland in Kentucky. As I say, on the bluegrass. Can Consuela Blaze get the job done? Not off to a bad start at all. In the middle of the pack there, we're going to drift towards the back. And now we've got to be worried about how wide we run and when we go. But at least we probably won't get blocked off and have an issue. Ultra Red Boot at the front. Sabina Estelle, Consignia, Equity, the Dangerous Horse in the Pink Silks, right there back to us. Moonlight Emma, into Skirma Pom, Butler's Bertain, Missoni Noah. They're all there. We are side by side with Consignia. And we are going to go then. Final furlong. Sabina is also going to come. Consignia falls back. It is us and Sabina on the inside. That grey now falling back. Skim upon. Good run for them up in a second. A late push by Butler's Bertain. Actually gets up into third. Very good race. And I feel like we've actually beaten a decent field there in a decently high-rated race. Nothing crazy. But that's awesome. Up to 118 points. Almost back to the 119 that we were at earlier. And that is our third Grade 1 win. The Cape Guineas, the first leg of South Africa, at a mile. And then before that, it was all the way back last season at the Spinaway at 7 furlongs. So 7 furlongs, we win one. A mile, we win one. We've jumped in distance now, mile 1. We have won one. And I think that gives me some hope with Consuela. Again, it's half an eye on the World Cup races as a 4-year-old. You know, you got the Pegasus, you got the Dubai's the third one, right? Yes, you got the Saudi World Cup, and then you got the Dubai World Cup. So that trio early in the season, I think it's February 28th, March 28th, June 20-something, maybe 28th. Something along those lines. Can we get there? A mile 1, a mile 1, a mile 2. This is the first kind of test in that kind of vein. Can we get a mile 1? Can we run against a decent field? Can we get the win? Grade 1. Yes, we can. Absolutely delighted with that. Can we follow it up? Breeders' Cup Distaff, huge marker for the World Cup races. So we'll have to see how that plays out. 14th is our auction. Nothing crazy in the 2-year-old, which we're likely to skip anyway, just in general. Oops. Yeah, nothing I like there. Only a single grade 3. If it was multiple grades, maybe I'd look into it more, but nothing to add to the barn. And that brings us then back to Ascot, Tidal Force. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Damage up. Little more faith in that one. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But they will be back-to-back at Ascot. So yeah, 3 wins in a row. And then a second place. And then the 6 was right off the pace. Favourite is Beseech Groom, who's got great form. A second, a disqualification. And then 5 wins. That is quite big, but As they've come up the rankings, we're coming down. We're meeting at 126. There's 125. More Sweets Glass. We know a dangerous horse. Not amazing, but like a really good horse, just not great. Smile Wins 124. Ballard Mate 123. We've raced against those sporadically. They're good horses. I don't recognize the other three, but domestics, two of them, grade 1 wins. Then a low-rated, poor form, ungraded 5-year-old. Probably not expecting much from Musical O'Reilly. Tipsters say Beseech Groom is the horse to beat. They are fit. More Sweets Glass looks okay. Tidal Force is coping well and fit. The whole field doesn't really have issues. Can Tidal Force get the job done? I do feel there's a slight chance we are a 7-furlong horse. But there isn't really much to run at 7 furlong. Definitely not at the levels that I think they should be able to win. It might be too easy and not feel like we've earned it. So we're here. Back at Ascot then. Over a mile. Get out okay, but we do get stuck at the back and against the rail. Could get blocked off. O'Reilly, Algeroy Briefs, Smile Wins, More Sweets Glass, all in there with us. Beseech Groom as well. Ballard Mate on the outside, set alone up the inside. Us and Smile Wins making moves already. We're waiting for Beseech Groom to come up from the back. More Sweets Glass as well. Final furlong. Nobody really would expect to have come up has come up yet. Tidal Force is just coming up and holding on to second place from Beseech Groom. They beat the horse that everybody said they had to beat. But Smile Wins went early, went up, stayed strong, and takes this by over a length. And it feels like a little missed opportunity maybe for Tidal Force, but a very good run from Smile Wins. A good horse, we knew that. Didn't know exactly how dangerous they'd be in their form. Hasn't been the best this season. That's their first win in 5 races. They did start off at a mile 3, mile 2, mile 2, but then they didn't run great at a mile. So you kind of start thinking, well, is it just a bad season? But then out of nowhere, they do come and take the QE2. Good run, but not a win for Tidal Force. So, a little disappointing. We knew that could happen. At least we were really close again. The ones we're not winning, we're getting close most of the time. Demolition Damager is on a bit of a tear. Prone to get on a streak and then drop off. We had a couple of wins drop off. 4 in a row now. This would make it 5 though. Can we step up? I don't know. Vry is here. We do know that horse. They do look a little cool in the paddock. We'll see how that's going to affect them. Dingaan Mountain, dangerous horse from down under. Ballygally Duplex from South Africa, another very dangerous horse. Terrible form this year. Ratings gone down. But those are the 2 I know that I would worry about in general. I think Damager's probably got this one though. And yeah, Mountain is named. Damager is there and ready to go. Coping well, very fit, primed to go. Ballygally's parading well, fit and ready to race. Dingaan looking well and fit. And Vry is very calm and fit. If the winner isn't one of those 4, I would be absolutely astounded. Really, I think this should be us and Dingaan Mountain. Really. But that's not always the case. That's not always how it plays out. Ballygally, Vry, they might have a part to play. And again, it might just be one of those slightly underneath the favourites that comes through to take it. But Ascot, second half of the doubleheader. The Champion Stakes, mile 2, Class 1, Grade 1 for 3-year-olds and older upon the turf. Royal Ascot, late in the season. Damager to run. We get off to an okay start there. Again, in the middle of the pack, we're going to surge out towards the front against the rail. Singlet Vry is there. Avon Cairug also with us. Straight Femme Now on our outside with Mint Chase, back to Ballygally on the outside in the green armed silks. Chief Society, and then Dingaan Mountain right at the back, but within touching distance. Avon and Vry at the front. We are going up to match them though, getting ready for the bend. Minchase, Straight Femme now starting to make their moves. 2 furlongs from home, and it looks like it's going to be a four-way dance right here at the front. Damager, though, starting to drop off. They shouldn't be at this distance. They should be ready to kick on. They're not, though. Dingaan Mountain from the outside, but Straight Femme is going to take some beating if they're not going to win this. They're now fading as I open my mouth. Avon on the inside, Dingaan Mountain on the backside. Though coming through strong. Mint Chase up in a second place. A bad run, a very bad run from Damager. And I don't really understand why. I don't understand why. I think the trip should have been good. We've won at a mile 2 at York. We should have maybe won here. I don't really know. Trip suited perfectly. Ooh, that's a weird one. That's a really weird one. So a disappointing trip to Royal Ascot. As Damager, again, like that form, I keep saying it, but yeah, we get a little bit of form. 2 wins, then third, second, fourth. 2 wins, then a fourth. 4 wins, now a fifth. It's just not been a consistent push. And Princess has had some issues, yes, but third, then 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And now second, but a really close second against a great horse. So, yeah, this is a distance issue too. That's kind of the difference between Promised Princess and Demolition Damager ultimately. Just the true quality of the horse. Tidal Force, though, another one that's 3 without a win. 2 seconds. Not really where you want to be. The 6 really hurts. The only domestic race as well. But, yeah, not kind of what we wanted from Ascot. Tidal Force, a solid second at least, but on the back of Promised Princess, kind of hurts to have that second, and to follow that up with Damager, just somehow disappearing from the end of that race. I don't know. I don't know. Trip to Canada. The Canadian International at Woodbine. We are favourite. We're coming off the back of a bad result. But, yeah, looking at this field, I feel confident. Couple of good horses. Nothing scary in the field right now. Head Pecan has the capabilities, but again, just doesn't seem to be where they used to be. But in their day, a phenomenal horse. The big worry, again, is going to be Jacardo Vintage. I think those are the ones to look for. But Promised Princess, the only tipped horse. Rawaki, Petit Namor, very fit, primed to go. They look like they could maybe do something. Low odds. They are kind of favoured. Head Pecan, a little lazy, a little old, maybe coming off their peak and not really the threat they used to be. Jacardo's parading well and fit. Well, looking well and fit as favourite. Again, I would think it's us and Jacardo, but don't count Head Pecan out. Don't know if the rest of the field's going to agree with that either. There might be someone we have not seen before. But the Canadian International at Woodbine, about to be underway at a mile 4, Class 1, Grade 1, 3-year-olds and older on the turf track up in Canada. With 2 of the best horses the nation has produced in recent years. 2 of the best horses produced anywhere in recent years. Jacardo Vintage up in this chasing pack. Head Pecan right there as well. We're in just behind. And Tammy Minor is the 3rd horse there. Rugged Blanc up behind Indian Barrister. We've got Finn's Golf just behind us. And we can see the nose of Idle Tibor. Ruaki Petinimo and Annika Brown are not in picture right now. Ignore the rails. They are suggestions, not rules. You want to go for a dip in the water? You can, and we are on the inside close enough to do so. We're running a very tight bend. And we're coming now then, 1.5 from home. Rugged Blank is starting to chase down Jacardo Vintage up at front. Finn's Golf also making a move. We're up the inside and from deep. Ruaki Petinamo is coming at quite a clip. But Finn's Golf is pushing out here. Oh my God, Finn's Golf again, another surpriser. Can't promise Princess do anything. They're going to surge at the line, but we're not going to quite get there. It's going to be another second place. Again, we beat the horse that we think we need to in Jacardo Vintage, but it's another horse indeed that comes almost out of nowhere. Finn's Golf never ran a grade 1, hasn't won a grade 2 or a grade 3. It's a conditions horse that just somehow, some way, had the race of its life and claims a win at the Canadian International, snatches one away from Promise Princess, and yeah, 66-1. I mean, whoever had their money on that horse is a very, very happy bunny right now. Sonny Singh riding an absolute machine in that race. So close. Yet again, so far. Yeah, these domestics that aren't the favorites and they're kind of middle of the pack in the betting, they're coming in quite a lot. And I thought the last video was a little tense and disappointing, which is why I named the video Troubles, because a couple of these horses look like they're stumbling. And then I thought, well, maybe Arc de Triomphe, that'll be a good race for us. Even if we don't get that, there's some easier races. Had an eye towards Princess with a late surge, maybe the Japan Cup, to get to that 140. Instead, we see someone else crowned 140 at the Arc. And now we're beaten. Again, it's 2 second places there. Tidal Force, not 1 in 3. Blaze wins, but that's their first win after 2 disappointing runs. Damager with a disappointing run, ending their streak. Yeah, troubles continue, little by little. It just feels like it's not quite right for us. And I don't know why. I don't feel like the distances are wrong. A mile 1 to a mile 2, Damager should have that. I think I'm going to really just challenge later on Damager. Life Quest just seems like the easiest thing in the world. I'm not figuring out the 2-year-old. I'm just letting it run. Blaze at a mile 1, maybe that's good, so we don't have to think about them. And then it's the 4-year-olds that have been good that are coming off the boil at the wrong time for me. But if we didn't lose rating, I'll kind of take that. 135 is kind of where my great horses sit. And I think a lot of them that do better kind of hit 137, maybe 138. And then only the very best have hit 140. Only 2 horses, I believe, are in the 140 club. I'm not sure Princess can get there now. But if they had won the Arc de Triomphe, and if they had won that, maybe, just maybe, we'd be sitting somewhere like a 137 right now. And that lines up really well with a prestigious race like the Japan Cup, but not going to be right now. Not going to be. Very quick turnaround for Damager. I really want to race this, but I think it's definitely too soon. and we're not coming in with great form, I just don't feel that's the right move to make. I don't feel that's the right move to make. So I think we'll take that from the calendar. Quick check on all these horses. Make sure no one's being over-raced. Nobody looks like they're really struggling. So yeah, the 3 4-year-olds who have recently run need a little bit more time. They've got basically 2 weeks, so they should be fine. They've already had about a week of rest, so they'll definitely be in time for their race for the Breeders' Cup. And the 2 younger ones are there. So I think that's a good stopping point. We're going to go and get this little run out the way. Oops. Which is the juvenile sprint. Then Blaze will run the distaff. Damager, the classic. Princess, the turf. And Tidal Force, the dirt mile. Breeders' Cup, next video. And probably then we're going towards the end of the season because there ain't that much left. Couple of races for each horse. I think we might find 1 or 2 more for those 2. We got 2 races, 3 races, 3 races, yeah. I think that's about it. At most 3 races for all these horses. So, yeah, I hope you're going to come back for that. I hope you've enjoyed. Not really the triumphant racing that we wanted. Princess also close, though. Keep showing, like, what a great horse that is. But we're being blocked by a generational in Webo and not quite getting a run in that last race. Damager, very good, but prone to an odd bad race as we've seen all season. And Tidal Force just not kind of the powerhouse we expected them to be. But we will conclude their seasons. We will line up Consuela for that final push this year and see if we're confident going in for the World Cup next year. And Live Quest, just how good can we make them this year? And what are they going to look like at the end of the year running into a Triple Crown program where they were only 3-year-old. Again, we get to pick anything we think suits. So come back for that. I really appreciate the support as always. Like I say, do manage to like, subscribe, comment, reply to comments. All that really helps the algorithm and really boosts the channel a crazy amount. You'd be surprised exactly how much that actually helps. It's something everybody says, but there's a reason for it. It really does make a big difference. So I appreciate you all. I'll see you soon. Check out the other playlists we've got. I think we're in an interesting place with the jump save as well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. There's 1 or 2 horses in each that I've liked that have disappointed, and there's a couple of surprises in this save and a couple of surprises in that save that are doing just phenomenally well, and I'm excited for. So yeah, excellent stuff there, and yeah, can't wait to see what happens in this save and that one, to be fair. So I hope you go check out that playlist as well. But like I say, I'll see you next time for the Breeders' Cup as we're into the end of the season. Few big races, a slight chance at 140, and an unbeaten 2-year-old. Can we keep that going too? So let me know what you think. Comments down below. But till next time, stay safe. All the very best to you. I wish you all the luck in the world. And I'll see you next time.